still make it look full. That'd be fun.
Right. Before we get into all of the matches, I do want to just touch on a couple things. First of all, I tried to grade these on a curve because nobody in the wrestling business has ever gone through this, so I didn't expect everybody to have a 5-star match. Yeah. Not saying we didn't see any. Just saying I didn't expect it. Also, I think that it was kind of lazy having the same open on both shows, the Stephanie McMahon copy-paste open.
Yep, and the same, like, Pirates of the Caribbean intro where he's talking all disjointed and, like, interrupting himself. That's not good enough.
And it was kind of, I think it would have been fun had they been in Tampa and had the pirate thing, but I really think they should have called an audible. I'm sure they spent millions of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands, on that open. I mean, it was not a cheap production.
Yeah.
But I wish they would have saved it for like a DVD extra or a network exclusive thing later on. It seemed really off. But I'm going to give a praise right off the bat. This was the only America the Beautiful I loved watching. This was just amazing and hit me in the feels, even though 90% of them I didn't like. When you edited them all together?
Yeah, it's more powerful. And no white people.
We're fans of that also, yes. I didn't notice that. Is that legit?
Yeah, that's legit. It was all African American
Wow, I did not
notice
that,
the legends of the industry. I liked it a lot.
But yeah, I did too. I thought that was super creative. I think they easily could have got somebody to go out there and just sing.
Yeah.
But it's cool that
they do it.
Yeah, there you go. But it's cool they took chicken shit and made chicken salad out of that one situation.
Yeah.
Like that was this is my favorite. This one I'll go back and rewatch.
Uh-huh.
I skip all the other ones, including like when they're live. This is when I'm, getting my food ready and getting beers and stuff and getting the bet sheets going. I never pay attention to them. But this one was like
lines of blow.
I was skipping it, but then I rewound it when I found out what it was, and I was like, so thumbs up right off the bat. They got a thumbs down and a thumbs up. So there you go. WWE is doing better than they should. I'll say that.
And so let's get into the show with a song from The Weeknd. Boo. I remember when fight music was fight music. That's all I got to say to that. Like, Jesus Christ.
The Weeknd's hit or miss. I don't dislike The Weeknd.
He's got some good music.
I don't know what the open to the show was. I don't remember the song.
It's one of the new ones that I don't.
Because I legitimately skipped from America the Beautiful to start this match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did a lot of skipping to start this match. So whatever happened in between, I really can't comment on, folks. I apologize. Paystee, we kind of jumped it. Did you watch the pre-show?
Yeah, it's WrestleMania. I tune in. Like, I didn't watch the entire thing, but I did see Cesaro take on Drew Gulak and defeat him, which leads me to have the question, if you're never going to legitimately do anything with Cesaro, why do his only wins need to be against legitimate upcoming talent? It's kind of backwards in my brain. Like, we've already established Cesaro as a mid-carder, and it ain't going to change.
Yeah.
But, this was Cesaro versus Drew Gulak. It was as good as you could have anticipated for being under 5 minutes. Cesaro did a airplane spin, and Drew Gulak lost, and it was good. They both played their own roles, Cesaro's the big tough guy, and Drew Gulak is the technical prowess wrestler.
Right.
Walking in Daniel Bryan's shadow to absorb his energy.
So, we have first of all, I'll state this and then I'll answer my own question. Or maybe I won't. So you have these two, Cesaro, Drew Gulak. These two, you give them 15 minutes and let them make their own match, and you got a 4.5-star match easily, right?
Yeah, and this is a 2-hour pre-show we're talking about. Why did you give them under 5 minutes?
Yeah, so you give them 4.5. You tell them to go out there. You tell them it doesn't matter. Nobody's watching. The next thing I wanted to say about before we started, and I forgot, but this reminded me. Can we just admit right now, with everything going on and with the no stadiums and nobody watching live there, and just with all the shit going on, do we both agree that probably 90 to 95% of the people watching are only wrestling fans?
I see. That's where I'm kind of hard pressed, because there was a lot of other sources that I've listened to and watched throughout the weeks leading up to WrestleMania, of people who I'd never heard talk about wrestling before saying they were interested to see how WrestleMania was going to turn out this year with no crowd. So
really,
I don't know how that pans out.
I guess not. I guess you could also say you're interested to see how it turns out without legitimately wanting to watch it.
Yeah.
Just being like, well, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine. I know WrestleMania is usually when you want to pander to most of the average Joes, your non-hardcore fans. But I just felt, I thought this year you wouldn't. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you still got those people that wouldn't normally watch WWE tuning in. So
I feel like WWE had a strong chance of having the most views for a WrestleMania in a long time, just because everybody is stuck at home. But yeah, I'm not 100% certain.
So we go into the first match of the night, Paystee. We had the Women's Tag Championship, which seen Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeat the Kabuki Warriors. 15 minutes, 5 seconds. They got plenty of time. I'd say for a women's tag match, that's pretty generous for normally, right?
Yeah. About the only thing I noticed in this match is I love Asuka and Kairi saying yelling in Japanese all the time.
Oh, they were shit talking and cussing. You know they were.
Good. It's so good. I love how they roll their R's. They're Asuka in general. Kairi doesn't do it so much, but Asuka's rolling is awesome. This match didn't do much for me though.
No. This match was not going to work for anybody. It's the opening match on a WrestleMania that has no card and nobody knows what to do, and none of the viewers know what to expect. You know.
Yeah.
So it would. But I think a big problem they had, and I agree with you. I loved how you could really hear the shit talking, and I think Asuka and Kairi did a great job of this, but this match had a same continuous blemish that we've seen over and over this night and next night, is where they kept playing to I felt they kept playing to a non-existent audience, and it really made for awkward moments, and it really took me out. I think Bliss kind of, after a while, to me, stood out as the one that was like, oh shit, I'm going to 100% perform in the ring and to the camera, not the audience. But they kept the energy up. They did do that. I don't think it was enough for me.
No, I would have liked it better had the Kabuki Warriors walked away with their championships. I didn't see any point in them losing them right now. And to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, I mean, they haven't broke up yet. Come on, what are you doing? Well,
I did put in my notes the reason why I feel that happened, and I think if you sit back and think for a second, it's obvious. They had the good white girls beat the evil infected aliens that are Asians, that gave us this virus.
They
you know what I mean?
For the president, yep.
Like, yeah. Well, it's not even just everybody's just out here talking about how. I seen a post from an acquaintance of all of ours that said something about, I started coughing and some Asian woman gave me a dirty look, and I'm like, bitch, you started it. I'm like, whoa. And it's like, yeah, everybody's out here just hating on I honestly feel they did that for that reason. I think that it went back to the old 70s, 80s, where these evil Asians who Pearl Harbored us with
then
this.
Why didn't they do the green mist? They should have did the green mist at that point, right? Like spit the virus in their face.
Just took a swag out of a bottle that said COVID-19. I honestly
throw some salt at them.
Yeah, the end of the match to me just stood out as the good white girls beating the evil Asians. So, yeah.
I'm surprised that never crossed my mind for a second. But now I see it and I can't unsee it. Just like the next match where Elias defeated King Corbin. I don't even remember this match. It ended in a disqualification, didn't it?
I skipped this match. 100% skipped it. Didn't even try to watch it. So I got nothing to say on it. Sorry.
No. It
100% skipped it.
It was a lot of ringside stuff, and I wasn't paying too much attention.
Yeah, neither was anybody else. I can tell you what, no one in the audience.
Then we had the Raw Women's Championship match, seeing Becky Lynch retain her title against the challenger, Shayna Baszler. And this is a match I'm kind of sad to say I tuned out on because I knew the win was going to go to Baszler, and then it didn't go to Baszler, and I'm like, shit, I probably should have watched that. Fuck.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I mean, there's no reason Baszler didn't win.
Yeah.
And it's kind of dumb she didn't win. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah. Just the beginning of disappointing women's matches for WrestleMania. But I think we'll leave that at that. I don't know. Did you have anything you wanted to say about this match other than Shayna should probably go back to NXT?
What I do want to say one thing is I really think that Baszler and Becky they really made it look like a competitive bout. Like it'd be so easy to have Shayna look like the dominant one, or to have Becky, or to make Shayna just lay down like a bitch and have the established Becky run her over. They did really do a good job of making it competitive. But the wrong person won. I don't know how you can justify that at all.
The only way I could see it justified is if this goes into a series where Shayna picks it up next time, you know?
Right, but even then,
it makes her look.
It's not going to be as good as. Well, it's not going to be as good as WrestleMania. It's WrestleFucking-Mania. I know it's the shittiest WrestleMania, but it's WrestleMania.
Is it the worst WrestleMania though?
It depends on what. Yeah, I would say 100%. If you go by crowd reaction, 100%. This was the worst ever. I mean, that's science.
Yeah.
Just gonna say it. I don't know. I don't know that it was the worst ever. There's been some pretty bad ones. No, I'm gonna say it's not the worst ever because
what I didn't like, and I'm sure we've seen it already in this pay-per-view probably 2 or 3 times. All these matches were pre-taped. And they edited. But they did not do a good job editing anything.
No,
it was.
I've got ones I didn't write down. Especially there was a balcony drop, and I don't remember. Oh, I think it was Seth and
when Kevin Owens came off the thing.
Yeah, I didn't write it down, but they edited it like it was a fucking 4-story drop, and it was like 3 feet.
Yeah, or like they do where somebody does a move and then they're in a completely different area of the ring and turn the other direction.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get into that more. There's one match that it was super noticeable. And I ain't talking about the Firefly Funhouse, folks, which the editing was pretty noticeable there, but in a great way. We'll get into some more of that as we go. But yes, I'm glad you brought that up. The editing, I like them doing pre-recorded stuff because editing is your best friend in pro wrestling. But I think they do edited shows, so that's not an excuse either. I was going to say they've been doing lives for so long that they did it wrong. They just did some really bad editing. I'm gonna throw Kevin Dunn under the bus for this one.
Especially
I know he gets
when
a lot of flack for it.
They had been recording for like 3 weeks prior to WrestleMania. You have plenty of time to edit that and make it look good.
Yeah, they didn't have an excuse for the editing. I agree with you.
They went to Fiverr for the editing, I think.
Probably.
So then we had the Intercontinental Championship, seeing Sami Zayn defeating Daniel Bryan to retain his newly found gold. This match was interesting to me because this harkened back to me to heel Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, where Daniel Bryan skirted around the ring and danced around, tried to get into Brock Lesnar's head, but Zayn did the same thing to Bryan in this match. And it wasn't the best match, but I love the psychology Sami Zayn plays.
I would agree 100%. Actually, the very first line of my notes is the heel work from Zayn and his goons was great.
Yeah.
And for me, never seeing the two together, though, honestly, I thought Bryan and Gulak were very fun and were a fluid combination.
Yeah, yep. I'm looking forward to that because rumors has that Daniel Bryan's time with WWE is probably coming to an end sooner rather than